On paper, the Nintendo Switch, with its dinky detachable controllers, low-power mobile hardware, and odd combination of portable and home console features, shouldn't work. The tablet that transforms into a console is a tired concept that has been tested, and as the multitude of terrible Android tablets with wing-mounted controllers shows, it hasn't really worked. But then again, none of those were made by Nintendo. Somehow, against the advice of analysts and industry pundits, and with the spectacular failure of the Wii U still front of mind, Nintendo has made a hybrid console that works. More importantly, it's made it a heck of a lot of fun. This is the Nintendo Switch, and it's a great games console. Or at least, it promises to be a great games console. At the time of recording, the Switch's online functionality still isn't live, so consider this a review with some caveats. But let's start with the basics. £279 or $300 buys you the tablet-like Switch itself, a pair of wireless detachable Joy-Con controllers, 2 lanyard attachments, a Joy-Con dock, a Switch dock, USB Type-C charger, and a HDMI cable. The Switch is powered by Nvidia hardware, but don't think you're getting PC-like levels of power here. The Switch has more in common with tablets and phones and is powered by an ARM processor along with a power-efficient Nvidia GPU that pushes pixels to its 720p screen. There's a mere 32GB of storage on board, 4GB of which is taken up by the OS. But there's a micro SD card slot for storage expansion, along with a cartridge slot for fans of physical media. Most importantly, for arguably the first time since the N64, the Switch feels like a proper, sophisticated, well-designed piece of consumer electronics for grown-ups. It looks slick. The Joy-Con buttons, if small, have a lovely tactile feel, and while there's a vent or two on top of the main unit, along with a fan, it's never audible. And that includes when you deploy the Switch's party trick. Slip it into the dock, and within a few seconds, it turns from a powerful portable into a full-blown home console. Well, almost. It's best to set your expectations about what the Switch can do graphically, at least based on Zelda Breath of the Wild. Don't get me wrong, Zelda is a fantastic looking game, but it doesn't sport any of the graphical wow factor you might expect from a console launch. But then again, how many PS4 games can you take with you on the go? The magic of the Switch is in how seamlessly it transforms from console to portable, letting you play on the couch, in the bedroom, in the bathroom, in the garden, before seamlessly transforming back again. If the Switch was just a home console, it would only be so-so, but as a portable too, it is a tremendous success. The 720p screen is a drastically different experience than Nintendo's other portables that sport low-res screens and big pixelated graphics. It's so good, in fact, that despite what Nintendo says, it's hard to see a future for the 3DS. After all, once you've used the Switch, why would you go back to anything else? The Switch gives you choice. If you slide out one of the Joy-Con controllers, maybe kick out the kickstand on the back, then you could use it as a pseudo-console on a flight. Hand one to a friend, and if you can deal with the slightly cramped layout, you can play two-player games. Plug it into a TV and use a separate Pro controller, and you don't even have to take the Joy-Cons out. Indeed, the Pro controller is my preferred way to play at home thanks to its nice big buttons and excellent D-pad. I just wish it didn't cost £65. Much of the Switch's multiplayer skills are limited to games like Weird Minigame Collection 1-2 Switch, Adorable Puzzler Snipper Clips, and Super Bomberman R at launch, none of which I've had access to in advance. But I do have Just Dance, and well, if you fancy an impromptu dance-off with a pair of Joy-Cons in an effort to look as incredibly cool as us, the Switch has got you covered. The Switch launch lineup isn't as strong as many would have hoped, but Zelda is a big draw, and over the course of the year, Nintendo has the likes of Mario Kart, Splatoon, ARMS, Puyo Puyo Tetris, Sonic Mania, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and of course Super Mario Odyssey lined up for release. Wider third-party support remains a work in progress and will likely make or break the Switch in the long run, but right now, the upcoming lineup looks solid. I dearly hope Nintendo gets the online functionality of the Switch right, because the rest of it is so well put together. Oh sure, the touchscreen seems all but redundant thanks to being limited to menu navigation. The menus themselves, while fast and modern, lack the fun factor of the Wii U and 3DS, and that kickstand is hopelessly flimsy. That's not to mention that despite featuring a standard USB Type-C port for charging and HDMI output, current USB-C dongles don't work, while charging with anything but the official Nintendo 15V 2.6A adapter takes an age. The Switch's battery will drain while playing a game even when plugged into any adapter other than the official one, so forget about using it on a long flight unless there's a plug socket nearby. But these problems can and hopefully will be fixed. The Switch is far too good a console to deserve anything less. The Switch is the Wii U as it should have been in 2012, a mixture of portable and console that the company has been chasing ever since it started freaking out about the App Store. Will it replace your PS4 or Xbox One? Of course not. But it doesn't have to. Something tells me the Switch is going to be the portable of choice for a huge swath of 3DS fans eager for something new. And for us, the gamers that grew up with Mario, the best way to get that Nintendo fix. I really like this thing, and I think that for the first time in a long time, Nintendo might finally have a hit on its hands.